Hey folks, got a quick review here of the Meloson, or Meloson, I'm not sure you're supposed to say it, M7, which is a AM/FM radio that also will work as a external speaker and as an MP3 and WMA player. Here's the outside of the box, which is actually a pretty detailed description. Also indicates that it should come in other colors like black, red, green, yellow, blue, camouflage. And it has this "Will you still love me tomorrow" quote there, which, I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of that. At any rate, here's the radio. It does come with a fairly informative manual. This is your male plug for using it as an external speaker. Comes with a lanyard, USB cable for charging, and it comes with this nifty little kickstand, which we'll stick in the back here into this slot, which I'll use. There's also this is the battery compartment. Battery's kind of hard to get out one-handed, so I'm not going to trouble you by taking it out. Underneath the battery, though, there's two small spaces where you can put two micro SD cards. So one of the features, of course, is that this plays MP3s from a micro SD card, so you could store a couple in the back. It would be nice if this kickstand attached elsewhere to the machine or to the radio to make it more compact. It only really sticks into the back there. There's no other place to carry it. So on to the build of the device here. As you can see, got the keypad on the front. These two keys here are for going between presets that you set with the ATS, or that the ATS automatically sets, and that you can go through, existing stations. More direct way is just to type in the number of the station that you want to go to. The delete key here will delete ATS stations that you don't want. Volume tuning, pretty self-explanatory. On the side here, you got the power switch, the USB port for charging, headphone jack, and the headphone sound is decent. It is in stereo, although you can hear kind of the cheapness of the DAC that they use for the MP3 player. When you use that, it doesn't sound as good as when you're listening to it through the speaker. And the auxiliary in, which is where you plug in your audio device to use this as a speaker. So one thing that's kind of funny is these two knobs here on the side are non-functioning. They're just there to make it look cool, I guess. So we'll power it on. Take about 3 hours to charge up the first time.
Either not expert enough or...
So it has memory. It remembers what the last station you tuned to was. So I just manually tuned here to 885, which is a NPR station here in Seattle. And when I switch over to AM, it's going to remember that I'm on a sports radio station, which has Monday Night Football going on right now. If you have the SD card or micro SD card already plugged in, it'll start up to the SD card automatically. And let me get it loaded in here one-handed. And so when it's inserted, you can switch between other modes. It takes a second for it to read it. You can switch once it's in there, but if it's in there when you power it on, it's always going to go here first and immediately resume playing whatever the last track you were playing. So the sound is definitely louder and better when you're playing MP3s from the card. These little black keys here. You get it pretty loud. It fuzzes out when you get into heavier bass and guitar parts, as you might expect for a speaker this small. These buttons here will let us select different tracks. It gives you the track number. Doesn't give you the file name, no ID3 tag, anything like that. So you have to really kick it old school and have all your MP3s numbered in the proper order and remember, what order the directories are in. To change from one folder to the next, like if we want to go here to the next folder, we hold that down, and it goes to my old friend Thomas Marriott's jazz record here. Conversely, we go to the previous, it's down. So when you see that F, that's the folder number. So that's pretty old school. If you had an MP3 player 12 years ago, it may have done that. Or if you bought a $10 MP3 player at Big Lots, it might have done that. So MP3 player, not the biggest strength of it. Isn't a handy feature, but you know, if you have another MP3 player, you're probably better off just using this to plug it in. As far as radio reception goes, I'm in a skyscraper in Seattle that gets terrible radio reception. As a comparison, I drug out my my trusty Sony ICF S10 MK2, which I'm pretty sure has just about the best, most sensitive tuner for a pocket analog radio. I know of the ones I've had, it definitely does. And it definitely gets better reception than the Meloson does, even over by the window where, you know, things are clearer. I could tune in stations, but you know, there was static at the highs and the lows. Now, as far as sound quality, music sounds much better through the Meloson than it does through this Sony. You know, which you can hear better when playing it in MP3 or or line-in mode. If you're just listening to talk radio, you know, you might be better off just with this, which is like $12. You know, it's half the price of this guy. You know, as long as you don't mind a manual tuner. You know, personally, I kind of prefer analog tuning because you can really fine tune it, especially if you're in a tough area like this. But I've actually bought this for my mother-in-law, and I think she'll appreciate being able to type in, you know, stations that she wants to go to. Line-in feature, when you plug in the line, it automatically switches the unit over to being a speaker. You know, you can press the mode button all you want, it's not going to change it. Now the only things that'll work are the volume knob. That's about it. Or you could probably lock the keypad too. This O key, the 0 key here, if you hold it down, it locks the keypad. The output is a lot quieter in radio and line-in mode than it is in the MP3 mode. But you know, it sounds pretty decent. You know, I'm not gonna trade this for my Sanjin WR2, or you know, I have a portable Bluetooth speaker that's got a lot more range than this, but it also costs double and doesn't work as a radio. So if you're looking for a portable, almost pocketable radio that can double as a speaker, I say this is a good option. The MP3 feature is kind of fun. It's definitely limited. I wouldn't buy it for that feature specifically, you know, so you can see the difference in volume. It is kind of cool, but I doubt I'll ever use it, and I'm sure my mother-in-law will never use it. So overall, I give this radio 3 stars. I wish the tuner was a little more sensitive. You know, that would make it nearly perfect. If it displayed file names on this little screen, even if they scrolled by, that would make the MP3 player function easier to use. But it would probably also make the unit more expensive. And it would be great if this little kickstand here folded out from the body, or at least had some place to nest into the body, so you didn't have to, you know, carry it around. I'm sure it's going to get lost. I mean, it stands okay on its own. It does have feet, you know. But for seeing the display, which, oh, almost forgot, the display has a optical sensor here that when it's covered, when it's dark, it will light up, which is hard to tell here with the lamp on it. There we go. So in the light, you'll be able to see it. You might actually find it's easier to read with that on, so you could always put a piece of tape or something over there and it would just light up all the time while it's powered on. So yeah, that's my 10-minute review of the Meloson M7 portable AM/FM radio. mp3player.